Hey guys, welcome back. Today I got a project I've been wanting to work on for a while. Just kind of got it going around in my head. Not even sure yet how it's going to work out. Flip it around, I'll explain it to you. Should be a lot of fun. Let's get started. So what I got here are some leftover supplies in here, and then outside I had to buy a couple boards because what I'm going to make right here is a hint. What this is a 4-gallon keg, and you can hold a lot of things in that. One thing I like to hold in that is some beer. I like to make craft beer at home every once in a while. I got an event coming up. My buddy having a retirement party. It's his birthday, so I'm gonna make I've already made a keg of beer for it. But what I need to do is have a way to take it there and keep it cold, because I don't have a kegerator, and I don't want to put out a bunch of money for a kegerator because it'll take up a lot of room somewhere, either in my house or in my garage, and it's going to cost a lot of money. So I'm going to make an ice box. I'm going to insulate it with the insulation. I'll caulk it. I'll have a drain plug in it, and I plan on putting it on wheels. So we'll see how it turns out. I think it's going to be fun to try to build, challenging. I'm going to give it a shot. First thing I'm going to do is decide on my dimensions and build a frame. Okay, there's my first piece of framework. You can see I got plenty of room for a second keg, and I'll have room for my insulation, and then the ice will go around. I got plenty of room at the top, so I like the size of it. It's exactly 2 foot wide. I haven't measured the height. I just went for as tall as I can. So it'll be kind of like a bar. Just wanted it as tall as those pieces I could get. I just cut the edges off the top. So I'm gonna make another one of those, and then we will attach them together. Okay, I got my main frame done, and I'll show you what I got going on here. You're gonna notice right off the bat, something's a little weird about it, right? Well, I've got that piece right here for a good reason, and I'll show you. See, this is actually not attached either. What I've got here is a spacer, and I'm gonna put it under there because I'm gonna mount these wheels, and that's gonna tell me where to drill my hole for the wheels. And then once I get the wheels mounted, I'll take the spacers out, and the wheels, it will be where it holds it. And then what I'll be able to do, see, I'll be able to tip it back and it'll roll. Pretty cool, huh? I kind of learned that from another project. So next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mark my hole, and I'm going to mount my wheels. And right now, I think I see a problem, but we'll see what happens. Okay, there's that part. Stand back, let you get a look at it. You can kind of see what we're gonna have here. It's just a little off, or else the floor is. I'm not sure, but I like it that way because then if I spill beer out the top, it'll run off the front. I figure I'll probably have it parked against a wall or somewhere in the side, so you can clean it up out here a little easier. Now, next thing I want to do is I'm going to put the floor in it. You see I had to move that board up, and I don't think that's going to cause a problem because my main piece is going to go across here. So that'll be my and I've got some extra. I may just put one right here, I think a wheel, so that those match. Yeah, let's do that. I'm just kind of flying by the seat of my pants and figuring it out as I go. I'm gonna work on that next, and then we will put the parts on the side. Okay, so what I did there was I just added 2 2x4s. I actually needed them anyway. Actually, I've got extra. I think I'm gonna cut one more and put in there in the middle. And then I've got my plywood that'll go on top of that. But yeah, I am gonna cut one more and put in the middle because that's where all the weight's gonna sit, so that's what I'm gonna do. And there it is with the floor on it. Now what we'll do is we'll skin the outsides, all 4 sides, and then we will insulate it. So right now, skin the outside. Okay, there it is with the skin on it. Not too bad. It's a box on wheels. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the foam, put it in there, and I may get a coat of paint on it. I'm pooped. I got up at 3 o'clock this morning, and it is 6:23 right now. I had a long day. I'm definitely going to get the insulation in. I don't know about the paint. Okay, I got the insulation in there, and I had an old can of spray foam that I didn't know if it was any good or not, so I used it, kind of sealed the cracks around the corners. It really looks bad. Right now, when it dries, I'll cut most of that away, but I'm gonna let it dry tonight, do that tomorrow. I wanted to get a coat of paint on it so it could dry tonight, but I'm just too tired. So I will paint it tomorrow, and then I will work on the top. Pretty happy with it so far. I think it's going to keep things cold. I'm going to work on a plug. I got to figure out, I'm not really sure what I want to do for a plug. I want to have a hole in the bottom so I can drain my water out. But I don't know if I want it to be on the very bottom or on the side where it's easy to get to. So I'll put some thought into that when I should be working tomorrow. And we'll work on it more tomorrow. Okay, here's an update. So I couldn't rest last night until I came out and put a coat of paint on the box there. And then what I've done now is I've cut my 1x's to length. Now I'm gonna glue them together, and then I'm gonna clamp it, and then I'm on my lunch hour right now. And then after work, hopefully that glue will be dry, and we'll continue on from there. I took the clamps off. Everything's stuck together, and you can see it still needs a lot of work. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut boards to put on the back. This is the bottom, and I'll screw them on there to give it strength. Then I'll flip it over, and then I'll start sanding on what'll be the top. And now, so I got it connected. There's my hinges, and then this will be the front. Okay, so I got the overhang on the front. This will be the back, and then you'll open it up. Ice and the kegs will be down in there, and it folds up neat. So like the beer tower will hang off of here. See, my thinking was if it folded this way, then the beer tower would hit the wall if I had it backed up against the wall. So one thing, if a person was to lean on this, I just don't think there's enough leverage there to make it flip open. But that was a concern. So there that is. Now I'm gonna get the belt sander, even out. I can kind of see right there. See that one board's kind of high. We'll take all that down, then we'll hit it with some finer sandpaper and make it look pretty good. You can see where the glue's dried up in there. Right now it doesn't look so great, but we'll get it to where it does. There's after the belt sander, you can still see it's got a lot of marks. It's got to come out, but it's pretty smooth where all the joints are. So next we'll get the palm sander and we will fine tune it. All right, what do you think? Personally, I think it looks pretty good. It got a little glue and a dip right there, but I'm gonna use clear polyurethane over it. So hopefully that don't show up too much. I just can't quite get it out without taking off too much material. That's about the only flaw I've got. I'm pretty happy with it. Otherwise, it's nice and smooth. I really like the feel of my hand running across it. So it should work out pretty good. Now, the next thing I'm gonna do is in that box right there, I bought something really cool. I'm gonna mount it, and let's see that, then we'll take it back off, and then we will polyurethane. Okay, I got it marked off, and looks like I may have to do some more sanding. Gosh, dang it. I don't know where that came from. But this is where my hose will go through, and my screws will go in. Here's my gasket that I kind of marked it with. I don't need to cut all that out. The more I leave, the more strength it'll have. And then I did reinforce it on the inside with an extra board right there, because the screws I'm going to use pretty good length, and then that'll get them into both boards. So it should be good and strong, because sometimes you tend to loosen up when you're drinking beer and you may not know your own strength. So if someone was to pull on that really hard, they could take the whole thing out. Don't want that to happen, so we reinforced it. Now we will mount our tap. All right, this just got pretty cool. I'll flip you around. Check this out. Huh? What do you think of that? Now, the mud on the wheels are going to come off, and I'm going to paint them. I'm going to cut that axle to the length it needs to be. They're just on there for now. But how about that? I kind of like it. So this part was $125 on eBay. Other than that, I got about 40 bucks in the rest of it because I had all the parts. So we're looking at under 200 bucks, I think, right here. Could you buy a kegerator for that? Probably on Marketplace or something, but then you got to worry about the refrigerator going out on it, different things. This is going to hold ice. That's all it's for, is ice. It's in my colors. I like the black and the natural wood together. I'm ready to get it finished up now. So I think what I'm going to do is I got to sand that crap off. I don't know where it came from, but I'm going to sand that off of there. I'm going to leave it mounted. I'm just going to put a little bit of tape around here, put my polyurethane on as is, because this was a little more trouble to get in than I thought it would be, because the screws are so close to this, and then this is so tall. I guess I probably do have a screwdriver long enough that I could hold it up here and get them, but I think it'll be all right if I just put a little tape around it and poly it up there. So that's what I'm going to do now as soon as I get that crap off of there. Now, if I was doing this for a customer or something, I probably would not do it this way, but it's for me. I'm just going to pour it on there and push it around. What I've got is high gloss polyurethane, and I'm going to use this whole container if I can. I'm getting a ton of bubbles using this style roller. I don't know if I want to do this or not. I hope these come out. Yeah, so that roller, see all these bubbles where it looks terrible? Look over there. I've gotten them out. I just take the brush and I'm just going across it. And it's taking out the bubbles very nicely, and it's looking man, this is the part of the project where the time you put into it that just wasn't a whole lot of fun becomes now fun, and it's rewarding, because dang, look at that, huh? All right, I'm ready to be done now. Okay, so I'm gonna let that dry, and I'm gonna put some more on there, because the thicker the better. I'll show you how much of my container I've used. I've not even used half of it yet. So it's gonna get at least one more coat. It won't soak in as much the next time, so probably gonna get a full 3 coats. Man, I like it, I like it. Okay guys, it's Saturday, it's the day of the party. I got up early this morning. I've been working on this all day to put the finishing touches on it. I'm ready to flip you around and show you how it turned out. Okay, here's the back. This is one of the things I've worked on all morning, is getting the CO2 tank mounted. So I made a little shelf there at the bottom for it to set on, and then I took a chain to hold it on. I mounted my hoses. See, I want to be able to run 2 taps, so I'll have 2 kegs inside, and I need to carbonate 2 at once, pressurize them. So I got a splitter here. So my gas comes out, goes in the splitter, and then it'll go into 2 different kegs. And then I had to notch my cart so that the lid would close. I went ahead and added the latches. That way it doesn't flip up on its own if someone was to lean on the other side just really, really hard, or maybe pull back on when they're dispensing a beer or something. I did get 3 coats on there. I think it turned out really great. I really, really like the way that top turned out. I didn't paint the wheels. I had planned on painting them copper, but when I power washed them, got all the mud off, they cleaned up pretty well. And I kind of think that just the overall silver would look better than having one thing copper. I didn't want to paint the galvanized. So what I did here, these are handles so that I can tilt it back and roll it around like a dolly. And all I did was, this is some conduit that I had left over. I just bent the conduit and then I smashed the ends and screwed it in there. Made 2 of them just light. I think that'll work out great. Take you around the other side. Put a drain plug in the other night, so this will just screw off. And then after all my ice melts, my water can run out. And I got that sealed in with caulking real good, so see, it's good and tight. And then from the front, this is what you see. Oh, so this morning I did some laser work. Just kind of dressed it up a little bit. I think that looks pretty nice. Got that on there. Overall, turned out great. I can't wait to show up with it tonight. I think everybody's going to be impressed. At least I hope they are. Like I said, this beer I've got, I think it's the best I've ever made. I've only been making beer for about 2 years. Honestly, I don't like drinking beer, but I like to make it. I like to see what friends think of it. It's just a lot of fun. So this is something that I can add to it and see how they like it. Guys, that's it for the homemade kegerator project. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. We'd love to have you back for all of our videos. As always, we thank you all for watching. We'll see you on the next one.